the Derby. Derby Day, the first Saturday in September. The pageantry, the pizzazz, the fashion, the horses, the greatest 2 minutes in all of sports. And, well, none of it would be happening if not for the work of one man, Colonel Matt Winn. Born in 1861 in the home of Churchill Downs, Louisville, Kentucky, Winn caught the racing bug at an early age, attending the very first Kentucky Derby run when his father brought him to the track. Despite working a variety of jobs in his life, from traveling salesman to merchant tailor, he made it a point to make sure he was always back under the twin spires for the Derby, not missing a single running since that first one in 1875. It was this unwavering devotion to celebrating the Derby that allowed him to turn the Derby into what it is today. The Kentucky Derby was not always the spectacle and must-see event that it is today. In fact, the Derby, and possibly even Churchill Downs, was on the path to go the way of the dodo in the very early 20th century. Only 5 horses contested the race in 1901, and only 4 faced the starter in 1902. Can you imagine the 2021 Derby with only 5 horses? Winn was approached by a few business associates and was asked to join a partnership to purchase Churchill Downs and work to turn things around. It was his love of the Derby that made him accept, and nothing else. So he was hired on first as vice president and then worked his way up to general manager of the Louisville Jockey Club. Over the next 10 years, he used his natural talent as a marketing genius to help bolster the reputation of the track and the Derby. He did this through marketing the experience of the Derby and schmoozing all the big names in the sports press world to cover the Derby, making sure they were treated like royalty when they came down to cover it. In 1908, a change he helped spearhead likely saved not only the Derby, but racing at Churchill Downs itself. Bookmaking was the betting method of the day, but Kentucky outlawed that practice. Without betting, there is no purse money. Winn found a small loophole in the law that did allow for pari-mutuel wagering to be carried out, and as such made the change for Churchill to a pari-mutuel setup. This allowed the sport to again flourish in the bluegrass state. Winn's genius was no more evident than it was in preparing for the 1915 Kentucky Derby. That year, the very prominent owner Harry Payne Whitney had a super filly named Regret. Winn convinced Whitney to ship the filly from New Jersey to Kentucky to take on the boys in the Derby. It was the first time that a filly would face the males in the Kentucky Derby, and the press and the public ate it up. Regret won that race, becoming one of only 3 fillies to ever capture the Run for the Roses, and from there on the Derby was cemented as an annual part of everyone's lives. Whitney told the Daily Racing Form after her decisive win that Regret had won the greatest race in all of America. That was all that was needed as far as Winn was concerned to prove the Derby was the most important race in the country. Oh, and we all know this tradition of the Derby as well, right? Yep, you guessed it. It was Winn who came up with the idea to have my old Kentucky home played as the horses paraded to the post for the Kentucky Derby. Winn was given many accolades, both during and after his life, including induction into the Racing Hall of Fame as a Pillar of the Turf in 2017. But where did he get the name Colonel? Well, he was a member of the Royal Order of Kentucky Colonels and was bestowed with the title of Honorary Kentucky Colonel by the governor. So I guess he shares an honor with another famous Kentucky colonel. Winn lived to the old age of 88, passing away shortly after being able to witness the 75th running of the race he helped make famous. He never missed a running of the race in person during his life, and Churchill Downs honored that legacy by having his likeness on the 1949 mint julep glass with the phrase, "He has seen them all."
One to complete
Churchill
the pack,
Downs also
24.01
honored Winn with a stakes
quarter,
race named after him that is run in the
47.78
late
seconds to time
spring.
for the first half
Usually
mile.
run
American
after the
Butterfly,
Derby
leader.
is contested.
American Butterfly
This year
by
it
a
has
length
the
and a
unique
half.
distinction
Tap it
of
to
being a
Winn.
prep
Goes
race
second,
for the
left
Run
on
for the
road,
Roses,
then Gouverneur
and
Morris.
features the
And
much
Gouverneur
anticipated
Morris now
return of
moving up on the
Maxfield,
outside
who
from
wowed them at
fourth to
Keeneland as a
third
2-year-old
to
last year
second by a
and
head.
has been high
And
on
now
a lot of
alongside the leader,
handicappers'
Gouverneur
Derby
Morris,
charts.
Enforceable,
Looking forward to
and
September.
Maxfield both moving behind that one at the quarter pole. Gouverneur Morris has taken the lead from American Butterfly. Here's Maxfield moving up on the outside to challenge Gouverneur Morris off the far turn, and Maxfield strides forward and takes the lead by a length and a half. 2 lengths in the final furlong. Gouverneur Morris second, Enforceable third. The rest are far back. Maxfield, a breathtaking run at the top of the stretch, kicks clear by 6. Maxfield to win the Claiborne Breeders' Futurity for Jose Ortiz.